Good evening. How are you doing? I trust you have been well. Yes, it's another year for our National Writers Summit. So far, so good. I strongly believe that each and every one of us here have been anticipating, very expectant of what we can glean from this particular session. Myself too, I am. So a quick one, if you're just joining, let me know in the comment section where you are joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you know someone that we are live, we have gone live. We have gone live. We have gone live. So let them start coming. It is one of the most intentional day of this journey. Some of you joined in from different states, some of you joined in from all across different countries in the Africa, some from the diaspora. I am quite elated to have each and every one of us present here tonight. So, for brevity of time, I would like us to start. Don't mind me, I'm trying to see what is happening in our group. So I would like to share who I am and who I am and why I am here in your face. So basically, if you're just joining, quickly leave comments in the comment section and let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you are joining from. So that I will give you a shout out. Let me know where you're joining from. If you're just joining, you're just tuning in, let me know where you are joining from. I'm still waiting for us. Oh, 5 people are here with us already. Please leave a comment, okay? Okay, there is a comment. Trying to read your comment. Okay. Janet. Joy Janet joined. Ma'am, I'm here. Thank you so much for indicating you're here, Janet. I can see, okay. Jacob said he's joining from Abuja. Okay. If you can see me, we have 9 people on board. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love this. I love the spirit. So, like I said, call your compound people, post in the group, screenshots, post on your status, screenshot, and let people know that we have started. We have started. Okay, I can see Queen Helen. Awesome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Helen. Where are you joining us from? I'd like to know where you're joining us from. Blessing is joining from Ekiti. Ado Ekiti. I love that. I love that. If you know someone who should be here, give them a call. Give them just ensure that you let them know that we have started and we're not waiting for anyone. So quickly, while we wait for others to join, we have 9 people so far. Post in the group, send a screenshot of your screen. Okay, Deborah said, good evening, ma'am. Where are you joining from? Joining from Abuja. Nice to meet you again, Queen Helen. If you just tell me where you're joining from, I did like to know where you're joining from. Let us know in the comment section where you're joining from. I would love to know where you are joining from. So don't mind me, I'm trying to read your comments. Oh, Deborah says she's joining from Obomosh. It's been a while I heard about Obomosho, and it's so lovely to know that you're joining from Obomosho. That is, what's the name of the state? Okay, this session with higher expectation. You had things you want to learn. Okay, Joanne Ikudari said she's joining from Ondo State. Nice to connect with you, Joanne. Uh, you people are joining from states I have not been to. Please invite me to your state. I will come. So it's quite a delight to have each and every one of us present here tonight. I know you had other places to be, you had other things to do, but you are here tonight. Vicky is joining from Akwa Ibom. Ona Ejembi is joining from Ogun State. Thank you, Victoria Lawrence, for joining. Thank you. Send a screenshot to the group. Nobody's restricting you, okay? Send a screenshot to the group. Let people know we have started. They are the only ones that have not joined. Milios Peace said she's joining from Yenengua, Payosa. Yenengua. Thank you so much for joining. It's quite a delight to have you here. So for those of you who do not know me, and maybe those of you who will be watching the replay, if there will be, because our team are saying there should not be replay, everybody should watch it live, things of that sort. I like to let you know that we are not going to put everyone's session in one, right? We intentionally want to put each session separately. So if you want to watch my session, you run and watch it. If it's a Gloria session you want to watch, it will be separate. If it's a non-source session you want to watch, it will be separate. So I will not take your time because this session is supposed to end by 8, and Mr. Nonso's session will also commence right away. If you don't know me, my name is Ella Obans, Ogochukwu Obanwude. That is my name. And I am the founder of this academy, Belarus Intelligence Trillion Academy World. Just in case you're wondering, what does that mean? You're wondering, what does that name mean? What does it mean? Is it vitamin? Is it another type of vitamin that is VITA-W? No, it is an acronym for our academy. In this academy, we help writers in every possible way we can. We help them publish, we help them write, we help them learn how to write. So I don't want to speak good, big grammar, my 3 seconds pitch. I just want to give you the layman knowledge of what we do. So I am very passionate about writers because I started my writing journey when writing was not entirely a thing. And if you know me, you should know my story. But if you don't know my story, I'm going to tell you a bit part of it. Nobody in my house has ever been a writer, and my dad wanted me to be a nurse. It was very, very deliberate for him, and he had better reasons why he wanted me to be a nurse. He believed I was very calm, I was hospitable, I was very smart. So, and he believed that was my calling. I look it in every ramification. But I chose writing. I love to write. I've been writing for as far back as the time I started writing, like when I could spell my name. And I could still remember when I went for my first writer's workshop in Lagos. I traveled all the way from the east to Lagos, and how everybody was skeptical, including my classmates. For clarity, I still studied science lab tech. That was my wish, and that was what I studied. Why in that process? My dad didn't like it. However, the fact that I was still slightly in the medical field was a consolation for him. So he allowed me. I kept on writing. However, I was writing because it is something I loved to do. It is something that gives me joy. I drive excitement from just doing it. But down the line, I realized that this is more than an interest. This is more than hobby. This is an avenue to reach people. So, as much as I've never written out of place, I became more intentional about my writings. Other times, I just write because maybe I read a book, it piqued my fancy. I heard someone say something that really intrigued me. I would dissect it, say a lot of things around it, and then share online. But as time went by, I realized that even though those things are inspirations, they were beginning to inspire people I don't know, people I have not met, people I probably may never meet. And it dawned on me that this no longer has to be a skill. It doesn't have to be a hobby or something I do on the side. It needs to be would impact lives. If you are still following me and you're still together, leave a comment in the comment section. I did like to read your comment. So today, I want to talk about before our second session, we'll be having. So we're supposed to be having two sessions in a day. So today we'll be having two sessions, and I won't take your time, I promise. Our second speaker will be coming in by 8. So, and it's going to be a different link. So you should stay on guard so that the moment this one ends, you know when the second one starts. Nobody's sharing the link in the group because it's going to affect this channel if you keep on sharing the live video link to you, right? So please just search the academy name and then you will see the live on the topmost, just in case we finish this one and we're about to start the second live video. So I understand that when I started, like I was trying to share with us, I didn't have all the knowledge I needed. There were just very few people who were into writing, and most of them were not even entirely into it. They were just doing it on the side. Thank you so much, Francis. I'm glad you're following. So I knew that I had to do something about it because if it weren't for the drive and the interest I had to become a writer, I would have given up because it just felt like people are bashing writers. I have had someone who wanted to employ me at a certain stage of my life. The person said, it's better you can look for another thing to do with your life. Oh, the writing doesn't pay. I've done it before and it didn't pay me. So you're not the first and you'll not be the last. That's There's atom of truth in that, but for someone who has invested her time, her knowledge, her resources into writing, I strongly believe that far beyond that, the money I would make from it, I should be able to make impact with that talent, which eventually became a skill for me. So tonight, I want to talk to us about creative writing. It may not be the conventional way you've learned creative writing. I don't have a slide, but I hope you are carried along. You are able to write as many things that would interest you as possible. First of all, I need to let you know that if you are a writer here, it's not by accident, it's not by chance. It's not because you are tall, it's not because you were science or art, or because you had a friend or an elder sibling who is a writer. It is an orchestration. It was pre planned, preordained for you to be a writer. It was pre-planned, preordained for you to have that ability. Trust me, everybody can write, but for someone to be able to write what people would read and appreciate, it takes a level of consciousness, a level of skill, and a level of mastery to do that. Whether you have been trained before to write or you have not, I want to let you know that it wasn't by chance that you have that ability. That is number one. And if you're here, you've written something that has impacted people, something that made someone interested in knowing further about what you do and all of that. I need you to understand that you have a job to do. You have a role to play in the society. Today, people use stories to talk about politics. People use stories to, it's not in a way that they tear the society apart. No, they bring in the perspective, they bring in the perception of what is happening, what people are perceiving that is happening, and they bring in the fact, right? The perspective of what is happening, and then they proffer solution. And so most of the times, this happen in the confines of a story. One of our speakers is the author of Bullets for Supper. This is someone that captured the police brutality and how Nigerians treat their citizens, and how she wish it can be adjusted. She'll be speaking to us on Sunday. So on storytelling, how you can maximize it and how you can. She's now in the US, so she's going to be teaching us on how you can maximize your writing skill and as well get published in international. I need you to understand that you are not into writing by accident. That is number one. And whatever niche you find yourself in, I hear people say, "Oh, I'm a poet, I'm not a writer." You're a writer because you communicate whatever you share through written words, right? Someone would say, "I write songs, I'm not a writer." No, you're a writer. Someone would say, I write blog posts, I'm not a writer. You're a writer. For everything you have written by yourself, you're an author. Everything you've written by yourself, if someone wants to refer to you as the writer, they won't say this is the content writer. No, they will say this is the author of this article, this is the author of this information, this is the author of so and so. So I need you to come to that reality that it's not by chance, right? It's not by chance that you possess that ability. That's number one. You have a purpose why you could write. There is a purpose why you can write. There is a purpose why you possess that ability. There is a purpose why you can see through people's pain. There is a purpose that you can tell a very, very interesting and like intriguing story. It's not by chance, it's not by accident. So, how do you now leverage that particular skill? When it comes to creative writing, and like I said, it may not be the conventional way you've learned about creative writing. I'm going to, the caption for our session is this thing called creative writing. It's not something so big, complex, algebra. You have to find X and then find C and find B. No, that is not what writing is. Writing is you being able to see through another person's knowledge, see through another person's life, see through another person's idea, and bring and even see through your own idea, your own most deepest thought. It's not the shallow thoughts, the one you think and forget what you were thinking. I mean, the thought you start to process, to analyze, to think, and then you're like, you know what? This is what I want to share. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to this is how I want it to come off as. So you need to understand that that is your reality. And if you want to maximize that skill, you have to come to the knowledge of how to use your skill. Because if you don't, people will push you. If you're a writer here, you must have heard things like, "Oh, I think you're a very good poet. You should start spoken word poetry like so and so person, like IB Quick." Okay. Someone may say, I've heard say things like, "I think you write very good like Chimamanda Adichie," right? Someone have told me things like, "I think you write very well like Chimamanda Adichie, and I feel you are the future Chimamanda Adichie." I was like, no. And there is nothing wrong in someone calling me the future Chimamanda Adichie. I admire her so much, but I'm not her. I have a different calling. I have a different purpose. I have a different focus. And that is why I captioned my session this thing called creative writing. Because you can write doesn't mean you should write everything. I take that again. Because you can write doesn't mean you should write on anything or everything. So therefore, it is paramount that you learn where you are positioned to function. Now, people always say things like niche is an illusion. Write whatever People say things like write whatever you want and just make sure you are consistent. Just write on anything. That is good. It may get you the followers you want. It may get you the internet buzz you want. But what about the impact aspect of your part? What about the impact aspect of your skill, of your ability? It is very, very important that you have knowledge of what do you want to. Can someone let me know in the comment section? Can you remember who Chinua Achebe is? When you hear Chinua Achebe, what comes to your mind? Let's not even go far. When you hear Chimamanda Adichie, what comes to your mind? Just drop it in the comments. There is no wrong or right answer. When we call J.K. Rowling, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? What's usually what comes to your mind immediately you hear that word or immediately you hear that name? Most likely, what comes to your mind is things fall apart. Okay, that's good. Vicky says when she hears Chinua Achebe, what comes to her mind is things fall apart. That is awesome. Why did it happen that way? War didn't come to your mind, right? Relationship and marriage didn't come to your mind when I mentioned Chinua Achebe. What came to your mind in moment I mentioned Chinua Achebe was things fall apart, right? That shows you that this person has something they represent. There is something they have been able to create that is now synonymous to their name. When we say J.K. Rowling's, what comes to your mind may be likely what's it called again? You can't say what comes to your mind when you say Chinua Achebe is African literature. It's not just that. There is something. Once you hear the name, be like, is it not the author that wrote so and so? And if I say Chimamanda Adichie, if you know Chimamanda Adichie very well, what would come to your mind is feminism. Is feminism, right? That is what comes to my own mind when I hear Chimamanda Adichie. You see? So why? She may not have consciously done so to be focus her writings on women's freedom, women's independence, women's equality and whatnot. But if you read her works, you will know that her works are focused on treating women right. Her works are focused on justice in the society where people live in freedom of who they want to be, expressing their life in the method and mode they would prefer without being looked down on or even misquoted or seen as unserious person. In Nigeria now, if you want to do music now and you're not connected to Don Jazzy, you're not connected to Davido, people will be like, you're wasting your time, you want to do music, abeg go and find work and do. But the truth is that those big guys out there, they started somewhere. Don Jazzy actually started from Ajegunle. If you live in Lagos or you've been to Lagos, you know Ikorodu and Ajegunle. They are one of the, what do I call it, rural part of Lagos. And it has never ceased to being that, from being that, right? So when it comes to your own work, what comes to your mind? Now, it has nothing to do with, oh, I'm a songwriter, oh, I'm a personal development writer, oh, I'm a storyteller, oh, I'm a poet. When I see your poems, when your name is mentioned, what comes to your mind? What do you want to come to people's mind? I'm not saying you should limit your writings, your information on a certain concept, but be so immersed in something that if they are looking for an authority, someone who can represent the world, someone who can teach very well, someone who can express this particular niche in diverse ways, your name will be called. I am a lab scientist and I still practice once in a while. It, because I'm a lab scientist, doesn't stop me from being a writer. So even if you're an engineer, you studied engineering, you studied mass comm, you did agri engineering, whatever you did, ask yourself, will you want your name to be associated with good health? Would you want your writings, your work? Because whether you like it or not, someone will look back at your work to drive inspiration, to drive information, to decide whether they would keep on going or they will not. And that is where niche comes in. Truth. Inform yourself as a writer. When we as a writer do not have area of focus, that is when we begin to lose interest. That is when we begin to feel disinterested. That is when we feel we are not on track. That is where and when we begin to compare ourselves with other writers. There are comedy writers, there are people who write just comedy, they write scripts for, and they get paid. If you're still following and you're still with me and you're gaining value, can you drop a comment? Drop a comment, let me know that you are with me. Drop a comment, let me know that we are together. I just want to be sure that I'm not just speaking to myself, you know. I just want to ensure that I'm not speaking to myself, that we are all together and everyone on this call is being carried along. So as a writer, you need to understand, what do you want your name to be, what do you want to be associated with your name? If eventually they see you are gone today, I don't know if any of us know she last 2 years. And if good, Mary Ann said we are together. Thank you so much for confirming that. Okay. Honor said, thank you so much. Thank you for confirming that. Jessica said, I'm with you, ma'am. Thank you, Jessica. Taiwo Aremu said, I'm following. Good, 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 good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know you're following. So whether you intend to write a book, whether you intend to do anything, ensure there is something associated with your name. When Clarence Erute died, someone can just type it in the comment section. Clarence Erute. Clarence. When she died, people were saying things like, who will write, people were saying things like, who will write, oh great, thank you so much for leaving that in the comment section. People were saying things like, who will write Monday news for us? Can anybody still remember who does Monday news? Even if you don't remember any, yes, May her soul rest in peace. Amen. If you don't remember anything else about her, you can remember that she does Monday meals. Every Monday, she focuses on her writings, on impacting lives, on cheering people up, on letting them know that there is more to. So that is how it will be for every one of us. It doesn't matter whether you are ready or not. One day you will bow, you take a bow from this planet Earth and transit to the world beyond. Hardly do some people remember her, but the people Monday Muse has impacted, we will never forget. Someone like me, I got to know Apostle Joshua Selman through her timeline, and Apostle's message has impacted me immensely. And for that very reason, I can never forget Clarence. As a matter of fact, it took me a year plus before I could move on from. Why am I bringing her into our discussion? You have to be intentional. See, forget about who is following you. Forget about the number of followers you have or you don't have. Focus more on what will you want to be remembered for? What exactly will you want to be remembered for? Do you want people, or do you want people to say, ah, when he or she was here, he or she made me laugh. Whenever I want to laugh, I go to your timeline, her timeline, to laugh because she has very decent jokes. There's this guy, I can't remember his name, but he and attach video of Aki or Popo in it. You may think he's wasting his time, but that guy is helping a lot of people cure depression. He's helping a lot of people. He's helping a lot of people thrive after having a a bad day. When they come across his page, they feel a little bit happier. They feel a little bit fulfilled and whatnot. So, as a writer, you need to know your reason, your why. Why are you writing? Why do you want to write? Why do you? Because when you don't know the purpose of a thing, you abuse it by saying, oh, I'm not getting the likes I want. Oh, I'm not getting the followers I want. And that's where you begin to give up. That's where I know a lady, I mean, I've seen so many writers drift. I've seen how so many writers took their life, committed suicide. They were good. They got the skill and they were very, very invested in it. But because they were not getting the output they want, maybe as soon as they wanted it, they took their life. One pained me. I can't remember the lady's name again. She used to barb low cut and all of that. And those are part of the things that inspire me to show up. They are part of the things that inspire me to bring this our National Writers Summit. Because when we do not have people, we don't have who can people who can show us that this is not the end, this is not the best we can do, there is more. Keep going. You can achieve something, you can attain something. If you don't have people like that, it makes it difficult for you to keep on going. I've received countless messages from people telling me things like, "Oh, you inspire me." The thoughts that you still come around to write, regardless of how busy your life gets, it keeps me going. I thank God for that privilege because I count myself privileged to be the person that does that for someone. But I looked for it at some point in my life, I couldn't find. People always see writing as what they do in the past, saying they do it at some certain period of time and then go on. It is a trend in Nigeria, in Africa. So they do it in their early days, and after then, you see them chasing tech and all of that. Right? You need to understand the very essence why you are writing. So sorry about that. My mic got muted, but it's back now. Thank you so much. So you need to have a reason. If you want to write in health, you have to tell yourself, I am going to do you see have you not seen people that just, and you need to understand that good things take time. The way someone in entertainment, someone that is doing comedy blow, it will not be the same with you. And you may not blow the way they blow. Your process may take time. But let you know, the people that win, go and check any magazine, any what's it called, autobiography. Go and read people that have made it. The people that are the leading voices in any sector are people who do not give up when things get tough. It's okay. It's okay if writing is just something you do for fun. It's okay. But if writing is what you want to do to change the world, whether as a poet, whether as a prose writer, whether as a fiction writer, whether as a songwriter, it doesn't matter, a blog writer, whatever aspect of writing you want to do, if you want to change life, you want to help people manage their health. This guy, Doctor of the Future, I think that's his Facebook name. We don't know what he looks like. Nobody knows what his face looks like. Nobody can tell what he looks like. He has never made a video, not once. Nobody knows what he sounds like. But he's striving. He's helping people gain their health. He's helping people get in shape. He's helping people live a healthier life. He's helping people live longer. How? By just putting down what he has learned. Let me shock you. He's not a doctor, he's a dietitian. He's not a doctor, he's a dietitian. But lives are being changed, destinies are being transformed. You that you're here in your sector, that knowledge you have in abundance, which people can you use it to help? And how long are you willing to stay there? You want to do it, if it doesn't work in the next 10 minutes, in the next 3 years, you just back out. It's okay if you want to do writing and do other things, but always remember that you're not writing only. That is, if that is part of your reasons, remember that you're not writing only because it's exciting, only because there are people clapping for you, or because it is a hobby for you. Remember, you're also writing because of so and so kind of people. And that is why I always preach, have a purpose why you are writing. So we are going to do activities after now. If you're not in the group, please get in the group. If you're in the group, make sure you open it before morning. We have activities that can help you answer the questions of why am I writing? Am I doing it because my classmate, my best friend, my childhood friend is doing the same thing? Or because I know that I am sent to this particular set of individual, and I am willing to do all it takes to help them move from point A to point B. Answer that, answer that question by yourself. If you're still following, you're still with me, leave a comment. Let me know you are following. So you need to come to understanding that your purpose for writing has to be clear and declared. Don't do it for it to be sweet. It's your own. You don't even need to tell me. I used to tell my students, it doesn't have to be sweet, it doesn't have to be too sweet, it doesn't have to be deep, deep. I was sleeping one day and then God said, no, it doesn't have to be that deep. Thank you so much for letting me know you're following for me, Francis and Kenneth. Thank you. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Victoria, thank you. I'm glad you're following. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in a certain way, right? I mean, your purpose, why you want to write. But let it be something that is dear to you. Let it be something that you can't just let go of. It is something that whenever you feel exhausted, you're not getting the number of likes, you're not getting the number of audience you want to be following you. That thing fuels you. The fact that one person's life can be changed. I have this mentor that always say, I don't want to reach the world. And I used to frown like, you don't want to reach the world? She would say, I don't want to reach the world. I am just conscious about reaching one person that has the capacity to reach the world, and my job is done. She say it day in, day out. And you see she doesn't care about likes, about followers. She just believes that if she eventually gets to that one person that grabs the information, understood it, eat it, chew it, and have it enough, if that person can reach millions of people in the world, she is fulfilled. Because you understand that impact is not only when you are the one doing it. If the person that taught Chimamanda Adichie, you saw her visit her teacher recently, right? The person that taught her may think she's the one doing it. No, the impact is shared. The relevance is shared. She didn't, and she's very wise not to take the glory because she understood that she wouldn't have been who she became if that person didn't teach her what they taught her at the time they taught her that. Let that be your mindset. Let your essence, your reason, your drive, your focus for writing transcend followership. Let it transcend what you gain now. Let it transcend your desire for money. Let it be impact conscious. Let it be a force driven from within. Something you may not be able to explain to everyone or anyone, but you know it. You know your why. You don't even sometimes you don't even need to tell people why. Sometimes you don't need to tell people why you're into writing, why you've continued writing. You just need to understand that this is why I'm doing this. And until I have achieved this, I will not stop. People think Clarence died prematurely. But it may interest you to know that she fulfilled her purpose. She lived a life worthy of emulation. She lived a life worth the while. She died at 29. There are so many people who are 50, so many people who are 70, who are 80 that have not even peeked into 1% of impact she made in people's life. A man of God, a wise man always say, live your life like live every day of your life like it is your last day. And he always starts the statement with, if you are told you will die now, what is that thing you will do? So people will say, I'll go and write a letter to my lover, tell her everything. I'll go and make peace with so and so person. I will start doing this. He will not say again, if you are given 10 days to decide what you want to do with your life. Like 10 days to leave and you are told after 10 days you'll be dead. What will you do as a writer? After 10 days now, you are told you will die. What will you like to leave to the world? You don't want them to forget. You don't want people to forget that you crossed paths on this earth. What will you want them to remember you for? when you have answer to this question and you answer it truly, it's not what, don't say things that will interest me. I always tell people my reasons. So many people don't like it. They'll be like, ah, is that why you're writing? Yes, that's why. That's my own why. That's what drives me. It doesn't look interesting. It doesn't like, my reasons are not too they're not well sophisticated and all of that. But that's my drive. That's mine. So you need to know yours too. You can have it at the back of your mind. You don't need to tell people if you feel they will discourage you. So as a writer, this thing called creative writing, no matter how good you are, no matter how diligent you believe you are, no matter how many followers you have, no matter how many people you feel that are not seeing what you have written, right? You can thrive in this generation. You can drive so much that people will never forget you. I became a lioness. And when I say lioness, I mean my life became my journey as a Christian. I became more audacious when I read the book Authority of a Believer. Imagine if Kenneth E. Hagin didn't write that book before he died. I don't know him. I've not met him. But he had his why. He knew if he has shared the testimonies, the stories, the inspirations God gave him inside that book, it could. When he wrote that book, he probably may not have sold up to 10, up to 20. But that one book has changed. I have a circle when I was in university. I used to have a circle of friends that are about, we were about 10. The 10 of us read that book, and the 10 of us never remained the same. And he doesn't know. But that is the reality. That is the truth. We have never been the same after reading that book. So know your why. This in this thing called creative writing, you have to know your why, like the palm of your hands. Know it. Be very, very invested in it. When you are reading a book, you read a book because you want to discover an information that will help you do your why better, execute your why better. Right? When you are seeing a movie, you're not seeing a movie for just pleasure. Yeah, you can see a movie for pleasure to pass time, but you're also seeing a movie because you want to glean information that will be relevant to your why. I tell people there are times where people would say, oh, this event is happening. Fine, good. It's not a bad event, but I'm not interested. I have where I'm going. I have something that I'm interested in. I have something I'm here to deliver. And that is where my focus is in. That is what drives me. That is where I channel my energy in. So, in this thing called creative writing, you must know your why and choose the path, choose for yourself the legacy you want to leave behind. What legacy do you want to leave behind? If you die today, you're not too old to die. I hope you know. You're not, I am not either. If you die today, what will be associated with your name? What will people say you did to them, you did for them, your works, your written works did in their life? Even if it's one person, that's enough. Yes. So have a why, a strong one that drives you. I was going for a workshop for the very first time. I'm leaving my school. I was going for a workshop. My sister lives in the state, and I told her I'm coming to so and so state. And my sister said, we didn't send you to school to go and be doing that thing you are doing. Oh. Please, if you're coming to that state, don't come to my house. I don't know you. That's not what we send you to school to do. We didn't send you to go and be writing. My dad have told me that in my beginning days. And I'm wondering, what did I do wrong? I'm doing bad academically. I was striving. So people may not like you because you're a writer. They may not have started cheering you on the way you desire to. It may never even come in your lifetime. Remember, What you are doing transcends now. What you are doing is beyond now. All right. So, with that, I would like us to, if you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section just quickly because our next section has already started so that we can commence that one as well. So if you have a question, I will still talk to you. So this is just like a prep opening session. Just to remind you, I'm still going to have other sessions with you. Yes, hopefully by Sunday there will going to be another session with you and I. I'm going to also, if you're someone who feels like, yeah, I have taken your job as a writer, no, 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 you have been like, oh, let me give up, let me start going learning this because AI. No, AI did not do anything. They didn't take any of it. As far as I'm concerned, AI are not taking the job of writers. So I'm going to let you know how to maximize AI. We're going to practice. You're going to see everything as I would share it here on Sunday. Don't miss that session. So if you have a question, you can type it. Before you even finish typing, you can just leave. You say I'm typing so that I don't assume we are done. So if you have a question, is someone said, okay, let me read that. What if so much love to what if so much love to write but don't like sharing? Yes, if I got you correctly, Rudy, you're trying to say, what if you so much love to write, but you don't like sharing? Let me tell you the truth. Writing, singing, anything crafts was supposed to be shared, but there is always this fear of rejection. Would people like what I've written? Am I really good enough? No, I don't sound like Wole Soyinka. So I don't think people would listen to me. It happens to every writer, yours truly as well. So I need you to come to reality that that self-sabotage, that where you do not feel like sharing your words, is a season, right? But don't remain there. Don't remain there. The world never celebrates people they don't know. If nobody has read what you've written, nobody would say you impacted them. And selfishness is when you have rich information, right? When you have rich information, when you have rich idea, when you have rich inspiration, and you only share it, you write it and keep it to yourself. That's the height of selfishness. You are trying to tell God that He was very stupid by giving it to you because it wasn't by mistake that it was given to you. So if you so much love to write, that is something you need to sit back and retrospect. Why do I so much delight? What part of this thing interests me the most? Yeah. Find a mode of expression. Find a means of expression. It could be poetry, it could be designing, you'll be designing, putting it in a strategic way. It could be songs, it could be interpretation of art, it could be interpretation of another person's work, but just find a way to share. And when I say sharing, it mustn't be on social media. You can open a blog, right? You can have a blog. You can have an email list where you know the people that are reading what you have written, right? And all of that. Someone said, how do I build a brand or audience to, how do I build brand or audience to so that I can reach people? So, Goody, I believe you understand that fear of is a fear, whether you admit it now or not, it is a fear that lies somewhere inside of you. Okay. Okay. Sorry, our speaker for the next session is already um, sending me a message, so I'm trying to reply. So get rid of that fear of what people will say. I'm going to tell you guys, remind me on our next session, right? I'm going to tell you my story, how I started. I don't know how I started. If God permits, if I find one of the stories I wrote, someone published that story on her blog. And the blog, as at 2018, the blog had 33,000 followers. As at 2018, it's not now that people just wake up and they have followers anyhow. Algorithm was working against us in 2018. So if you had that level of followers in 2018, you are OG, right? The person published it like that. And that's why whenever I see her comments, I'm encouraged. This woman encouraged me without knowing. So, Goody, I need you to understand it's a fear. It may take you time, but always remind yourself that this is a phase. You will never continually have your works hidden. You have to share it. I'm a Christian and I believe I live by the Bible, and it says you can't light a candle and put it under a bushel. You have so much you carry, right? Start sharing. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the funniest thing? People didn't even see. They probably saw it, but they decided to take the information in what I've shared and leave out the mistakes, the grammatical errors, and all of that. I pray we are able to find time. I'm going to show you my my post from the beginning. You're going to cringe. Even me, with all my confidence, I used to cringe. I know I wrote it. Yes, I love myself. I know those pep talks, affirmations, but I'm ashamed of it. However, that is what I could do at the time, and it still impacted lives. I had my classmates in secondary school who always come to me and say, "You've blessed me. You write so well." And even till now, people believe I'm a very good writer. People have ghostwritten for. They always send message to me and say, "You're so blessed. You don't know what God has given you." In my mind, I'm like, we just got started, oh. We just got started, eh? God just taking me. So Goody is saying thank you. I believe I answered your question. Thank you for sharing your question with us. It takes a level of boldness to actually share what is going through your mind. Not everyone does that, but you did. I appreciate you for doing that. So the next question is from Ore Olua. She said, "How do I build brand and how do I build audience?" Part of what I'll be teaching you on Sunday is that. So don't miss Sunday session because our time is fast spent. But I want to let you know that it is possible to build a brand. It is possible to reach more people if you can come by and implement what I would teach you on that day. I didn't add it on the flyer. I don't want writers that are just out to build audience. I want people that want to change the world. Yeah, you may not change the whole world, but people that want to impact lives around them. Right? Gone are the era where we had writers who were just out there to make money. Money is not bad. If you know me, I like money a lot. And I always intentionally make money in a very little way. However, if money is your focus, that's where people commit suicide. That's where people feel frustrated. That's where people give up on something that has the capacity to change a generation. So with that said, I am yet to see another question. I think we will call it a night here for this session. So the next session is coming up right away. Go nowhere. Just sit on this channel, keep refreshing, and join the next session as hopefully our speaker is able to sort what's his network glitches so that we can commence the next session. Trust me, the person that is coming next, I cannot untie the shoelace. So I am the John the Baptist. Jesus is coming, and the many Jesuses. That's just an idiomatic expression, by the way. So these are knowledgeable people. These are people that have got the knowledge. They have the experience. So Queen Helen says, I can relate. Most of the time when I go back to my previous post, I cringe. All thanks to growth and learning. Absolutely. All thanks to growth and learning. It's my delight to open this session, National Writers Summit 2025, and I look forward to see you. If you know someone who we will likely pair you, if you're interested, we'll pair you in the group. So you have a partner, someone you reach out to, someone you check in with, right? It's going to help you keep in touch, stay in touch, and continuously make progress, right? So that is that from that. For those of us who joined in late, my name is Ella Obans. My name is Ella Obans, and I am the founder of this academy. It's nearly 6 years since we have been practicing. So for the over 6 years, we have had the highs, the lows, and all I can say is that we are not backing out. So it's either we win or we win, but we will keep right on this course because this is something that is beyond me now. You are part of this journey. I can't leave you behind. I can't say, oh, because I don't feel it, let me not show up. I know you rely on me. Some of you depend on me to show up so that you keep showing up. You know that, oh, there is hope. She's still doing it. That means there is hope. People have told me that countless number of times. So I know we are together.